What's up YouTube? My name is Caden and you're watching Gas It Garage. Today we are doing part 8 of the 1997 3rd Gen 4Runner build. In this video we're going to be painting and installing the custom off-road rear bumper that I built in the last video. Enjoy. Alright guys, so in the last video of this project, we got the custom rear bumper completely built and all welded together and cleaned up and basically ready to paint. So it's sitting right here in the garage right now. So I'm just going to go over this thing with a rag and wipe off all of the dust and stuff off of it so it's nice and clean and ready to paint. And then after that, we're going to go hang this thing up outside and paint it with some black bed liner. Alright guys, I actually had to wait about a week and a half to paint this bumper just because it's been so cold outside. The paint just won't be able to stick properly when it's like in the teens and the 20s and 30s outside. So now that it's about 55 degrees outside and most of the snow and ice has melted from this past week, we can finally go hang this up and get the thing painted. Alright guys, so now that the bumper is painted and all dry, we can finally weld this thing on to the 4Runner. Okay, so we just got this rear bumper finally painted up and welded onto the 4Runner, and I also went over it and painted or cleaned up and painted all of the weld spots like the hitch receiver and all of the 4 mount points where I welded it to the frame. And I have to say, this thing is looking pretty cool. It's a little bit off right here. Like this part is a little bit more low than that side over there, but it's not really too bad for an off-road bumper. And it's got nice high clearance. As you can see, it's probably at least 2.5 feet off the ground, which is really what you want for a good departure angle. So I think overall I did a pretty good job. Let me know what you think in the comments. So the next thing we're gonna do is, I actually forgot to paint this rock slider right here when I originally built it a couple of videos ago. And we're gonna go ahead and get this thing cleaned up. I'm gonna grind all the rust off of it and everything, and just throw some black paint on it. I'm not gonna take it off just because it's kind of a lot of work and it's pretty heavy. So we're just gonna basically grind off all the rust as best I can, and I'm just gonna throw some paint on it. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, guys, so I just finished painting this side rail rock slider right here, and it actually looks a little bit better than the one on the other side, but it'll probably get scratched up next time I go off-roading with this thing, which that's kind of why I chose just like a basic black, so I could touch it up when I need to when it gets scratched. So you may be wondering about what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, which is the spare tire right here. This thing is actually a different tread pattern than the ones that I have on the truck, but it is the exact same size. So a tread pattern really doesn't matter for a spare. So I'm actually still kind of torn between building a spare tire swing out off the back of this thing and building a roof rack for this thing. With a spare tire swing out, it would kind of mess up the way the back end of this thing looks, and I really don't want to do that, just because I really like the look of the back end of this 3rd gen 4Runner, and I don't want to put a big giant tire on the back. And plus, it will also severely restrict the view out of my rear view mirror, and it'll prevent me from being able to see when I'm backing up, and it'll make it a lot more difficult. So I think what I may end up doing is just building some kind of roof rack for it in the future, but I'm really not 100% sure at the moment. And also I kind of need to save up a little bit more money to do that, because it is kind of pricey to go out and buy a whole bunch of parts and metal, and it's also very time consuming to build that. So I think that is going to be something that's a little bit further down the road, but the next upgrade for this thing is going to be a rear diff locker for the rear axle here, and I still have to go out and find one. I'm not really sure where to go look. I mean, I've looked on Facebook Marketplace, and there's also one I can buy brand new, but it's like $600 just for the internals of the diff, and it's going to be quite a lot of work to drop the entire rear axle out of this thing, pull both axle shafts out, and then replace the diff properly with all the shims and everything that have to go in it to prevent it from grenading itself. So that will also be a little bit further down the road. So I think for right now, this thing is good to go. I'll probably just figure out something easy for the time being with the spare tire. I may just throw it in the back when I go off-roading, even though it is kind of cumbersome to do that, but I don't really care. So I think for right now, that's going to be the end of it for this video. I know it's a little bit of a shorter video, but that's really all I could get done, because I am going out of town in about a week or so. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. And one last thing, we can't forget to put the ball hitch in. That looks pretty good. Thanks for watching.